What's going on, fellow gamblers? Happy Monday. Welcome back to Straight Betting. Today's NBA Best Bets video, I got 3 official plays. Going with 2 overs, 1 under. One of them is like an SGP kind of, so make sure you guys are staying all the way through to get all these props in. And before I give out these picks, guys, just a friendly reminder, if you do enjoy this type of content, make sure to like and sub to the channel. And with that being said, let's recap yesterday. All right, guys, so very solid day yesterday. Went 5-2 for plus 2.32 units. There's my season total, record, ROI, all that. Herb Jones won pretty easily. It was a blowout, but he got there, I think, in the first quarter on the threes and first half on the points, so love that. Sexton, that was sweaty, but LaMelo didn't play, so we'll take it. Smart got up 7 threes, very happy with that. Knuppel over 2.5 assists was a late add, and I think he had like 4 or 5 or so happy with that. Then lost Josh Hart under PA. Josh Hart played out of his mind, guys. And then VJ Edgecombe, it was just a Kelly Oubre game, so it happened. All right, guys, first official play. I'm going with Rudy Gobert to get a double-double. I got this at plus 135 at FanDuel. Let's see where this line is at now. And, guys, of course, like points and rebounds is a great – so this line moved against me, guys. You can snag a plus 145 out there in market now. Of course, big fan of over 21.5 points and rebounds as well. But, you know, I saw the plus money and I'm going for it. Anyways, guys, Rudy Gobert, reason why I am going with him. First of all, guys, I just want to say this. As a Wolves fan, I watch pretty much every single Wolves game. And this dude really thrives against like the lesser opponents. But, you know, when it's like a tactical team that they're going against or, you know, a tough matchup, then he really tends to get exploited. But if we look at last year, guys, very late in the year, Brooklyn is doing the same thing defensively. They have the same center, the same head coach. Their scheme's all the same. Rudy Gobert had 21 and 18, and then he had 35 and 11. He had 30 rebound chances and 20 rebound chances in those games. So what the Nets do is, you know, whenever there's a pick and roll or a drive, they're very quick to, you know, send help and either – they will overhelp with either Claxton, which leaves Gobert open in the paint, or, you know, for the spot up shooters will be open at the perimeter. If we go down here on Props Madness, see that the Nets are allowed. Rudy scores 100% of his points in the restricted area, which is not surprising, but the Nets do allow the 7th most points there. Also, guys, if we just click on Rudy Gobert and like hit his assists and then hover over this, the Nets allow the most assists in the NBA. And why that's relevant is because unless it's a putback, Rudy Gobert is not getting a bucket unless it's an assist, right? So just the fact that they are allowing the most assists, I like that too. A lot of stuff in the restricted area, a lot of assisted baskets in the restricted area is going to be Rudy Gobert's bread and butter in terms of scoring. The Nets bigs, they're like pretty middle of the pack in rebounding right now, but they do have Claxton and they do have Daron Sharp, 2 guys who do not stretch the floor. So Rudy's been kind of inconsistent on the glass this year, but you know, with a Nets team that is on the second night of a back-to-back, first of all, maybe some tired legs, but also just has bigs that don't stretch the floor. I like our chances that he has, you know, a ton of rebound chances. But guys, at the end of the day with this Rudy look, you know, the plus 145 is what sold me. The plus 135, the plus money. You know, if you can get anything above like plus 120 for this man, I really, really like this. I think that Rudy Gobert is in a spot where he should be able to feast tonight. All right, guys, next prop I'm going with is going to be Jabari Smith Jr. of the Houston Rockets under 13.5 points. So going with a little under here. I've not really had the greatest success with unders this year, which is kind of unfortunate. But if we go over to Dallas and Houston, so Dallas this year is really playing single coverage and funneling a ton of stuff to the paint. Now, not saying Jabari can't score in the paint, but yeah, Dallas this year is allowing the fewest points per game to spot up. As you can see, like he's averaging 7.8 points per game to spot ups this year, which is literally over half. It says 58%. 58% of its total points, guys. So what Dallas is doing is they're funneling everything into the paint, the mid-range area. Can Jabari score from those areas? Of course. But you have to think like who Houston's top options are, right? It's going to be Sengun. And if they're not really going to send help on Sengun, he's probably going to have a massive game. Durant, if they're going to let him ISO and chuck up middies, he's probably going to have a massive game. Amen Thompson, you know, Dallas allows the most points in the paint, guys. Literally the most points in the paint. And Amen Thompson, you know, and I think they're bad in transition too. Yeah, they're bad in transition too. So, guys, I was like looking at this, and obviously there's a big spread on this. But like, I really like the matchup for Thompson, really like it for Sengun, really like it for Durant. And I was kind of like looking around. I'm like, okay, well, there's only so many points to be scored, right? There's only so many shots to be taken. So I think fading a spot up guy in this matchup is really ideal. Obviously, guys, best price now is going to be minus 112 at DK. But yeah, just expect them to play Sengun straight up. Expect them to play Durant straight up. Not really force the ball out of their hands, when they're down low, when KD's in the mid range. And also, guys, another thing that's kind of playing into this is like, obviously, yes, there is a big spread, so we could see reduced minutes. But Jabari has a sprained ankle, so I guess he might not even play. But I feel like that's just like kind of like another out. Like, what if his ankle's not right? He doesn't have his legs under him. So when he does get spot up opportunities, maybe he's missing more. Maybe it's a blowout. And they're like, okay, Jabari, let's rest that ankle a little bit. Let's only play you 24 minutes or something like that. So I think that, with the injury designation, obviously, guys, maybe he just doesn't play. But I think that also leads to a couple more outs on this Jabari Smith under 13.5 points here. All right, now it's the SGP time. Well, this is just like a normal play, but I'm going with Giannis to score 30+ points and then to have 10 or more rebounds. So, guys, I actually really, really like this one. Of course I do, because I wagered currency on it. But I got this at minus 106 at Caesars. So, guys, with Giannis here, obviously, as you can see, he scored 30 or more points in 4 out of 5 games. He is averaging 34.2 points. On the rebound side of things, he's had 10 or more rebounds in 4 out of 5 as well. He's averaging 13.4 rebounds. But, guys, the Pacers, they're really playing single coverage. They're also similar to Dallas. They're funneling a lot of stuff to the paint. So if we go to the opposing defense, like, they're really defending the three-point line, and they're allowing a ton of stuff in the paint. So in terms of points in the paint, they rank 25th. In terms of free throws attempted allowed, they are 29th. So they're allowing a ton of stuff in the paint. They're fouling a ton. This is like a beautiful, beautiful matchup for Giannis. And then like spot up too, like 6 fewest points per game to spot up. That's good. I mean, Giannis isn't spotting up at all, right? He's the one with the balls in his hands. He's not the one that's sitting in the corner and playing off of other people's gravity. So I think this is like a really good matchup for Giannis. And then in terms of like the rebounding matchup, I mean, the Pacers are dead last in rebounds allowed. So so feel pretty good about him being able to grab 10. I do want to say one more thing that I really, really like about this Giannis prop is that if you remember last year, well, the Pacers and Bucks have like kind of been beefing for a while now. But last year in specific, they eliminated Giannis and the Bucks. Halliburton's dad, even though Halliburton's not playing, obviously, but Halliburton's dad got in his face. So, like, yes, this is like a Monday night game against a bad team. It's like, okay, well, maybe we're gonna get some like disengage. This is like you think it's like a spot where a star could be disengaged. I don't think that's going to be the case, man. It's also Miles Turner's first game back in Indiana. So with all that, and he kind of like left on, not on bad terms, but like the Pacers fans aren't exactly happy with him. I wonder if he's going to get booed or cheered or not. But I kind of think this game might have some animosity. Like I said, I don't think it's just going to be some Monday night like pushover game where Giannis is trolling or anything like that. I think Giannis might be trying to get some revenge on the Pacers and stick it to them and their fan base for what happened last year. So I think it's a good spot. It's obviously like a beautiful matchup with how the Pacers funnel points in the paint and stay home on shooters and foul a lot. And then, of course, like give up the damn most rebounds in the NBA. So PR is a good pivot. I think there's 44.5s out there. Yeah, no vig, Profit X specifically. I think that's a great bet. I'm going with 30 points, dude. I think it's like a milestone number. And, 30 and 10 are both like milestone numbers. So I kind of like taking it down a little bit on Giannis here. As always, guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in. If you could, leave a like, sub to the channel on your way out. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. And best of luck on all your guys' stuff tonight. And you guys have a good one.